Hello, welcome back to this best of three between Singularity and Fate, and a very eventful second map of Inferno, as Fate will manage to come back from a 12-4 deficit, take the map 16-13, and that was Singularity's map pick as well, so we do find ourselves on the decider of Inferno, as Iceberg, he does find one at least, with that initial peak, and actually manages to get away, but with his teammate caught, him on low HP, he needs SMF to try and provide a bit of assistance to him. Rocking's already managed to scoot out towards the van, and I think Iceberg may be aware of this as he peeks around the corner. He's still going to get caught by Rocking, who is going to continue to make inroads towards his B site, and that actually pulls Fate back to looking at this B site, as SMF is going to have his head clipped. It's now left all up towards Larson and Remoy. I mean, Remoy, he has a kit, but now he's left alone in a 1 versus 4. And he can't find anything. So Singularity drop the pistol here as Fate, after just an initial push in towards B, works out for them. They take the pistol round. Singularity, they go for a bit of a force buy here. Larson leaves a bit of extra cash in reserve. He has a scout though, alongside 4 Deagles. Excuse me. Well, it should be Fate, especially with this opening kill from Caliber. It'll be them able to pick up the second round here, and Singularity, they'll have to take an eco in the next. So Fate should be able to secure an early 3-0 lead in this one. Continue on the momentum from the previous map into this one, where they don't particularly have a strong record on. But certainly if individuals are hitting shots, you can definitely make it difficult for the other team. No matter if you're sort of lacking a tactical depth on a map. But Singularity, they stack them 4 remaining players towards B. Fate lay entry in towards the B, and towards the A site rather. Get that bomb planted. I think Singularity, they'll just save these Deagles in the scout. Hope that do something with them in the next round. It's better than just having USPs, that's for sure. You keep all these weapons alive, they can certainly try and get some damage the next round. None found this round. Means that Fate, they have plenty of extra cash coming into their accounts. They don't have to rebuy much, apart from just some utility, which is nice. How you want these sorts of rounds to be going. Singularity now, obviously keeping those weapons across. Iceberg's left with just a P250 that he buys up. He was the only player to go down in that previous round. They carry all of their weapons across. So Rapdu's still going to be wielding that Mac 10, still a few Gleals, still the AK for Nikki. And Notten, he's looking aggressive in towards the apartments, hoping to find a shot, and a quick one does come through onto Patrick. So there's a bit of damage for Singularity. They could build up that now. They could certainly make this a bit of a costly round for the Fate side. Force a few rebuys in the next round. Keep the economy from growing too much. But 1 kill isn't going to make too much impact in that regard. Our chair's having a bit of a big old squeak. But Fate taking this one very, very slowly. They're not really looking to try and find an equalizer unless one of these Singularity players goes for a bit of intel, maybe a bit of an aggressive peek in towards mid, maybe ramp something like that. Instead, Singularity, they hold their ground. They know they have this man advantage. They know that Fate are trying to play it slow, trying to keep themselves or try to get themselves an even situation once again. They know, obviously, Fate, if they go aggressive, they might get caught out. And with that kill on towards Larson and a follow-up onto Iceberg, all the kills start to roll in now for the Fate side, and that's exactly what they needed. A quick turnaround. Some decent damage was at least done towards a couple of Fate players, but if they can't get finished off by one of these Singularity players, which Rocking will be, it'll be all for nothing. So 2 kills found. This is the minimum you'd want if you're Fate now in this situation to try and keep alive. If Singularity maybe finish off Caliber, that would be nice for Singularity. It would mean that Fate would have to spend more money than they actually make in the round, and that would hurt their economy a little bit. SMF might be able to do so. Oh, does get it done. Last bullet in the mag. So it is a costly round for Fate, but it's still a round nonetheless. And Molotov comes in towards the ladder room. It's not going to flush SMF out of that position. He'll hold on to the Galil for the next round. Remoy held on to the Scout, but will chuck it away. It's not really all too viable weapon, especially when you have Larson on that AWP in the next round. And Remoy, he gets himself the M4. They had enough cash to buy up either way. SMF will, however, carry on with that Galil. That is a viable weapon to use for the next round. Fate, they have a bit of extra presence towards A early on here. 2 plays towards the Palace, 1 towards Ramp. Larson, though, who finds an opening, takes down Caliber, who's having a bit of a sneaky look in towards mid, hoping maybe he finds a player off guard, but being cut short, that sort of diminishes what Fate were starting to set themselves up for. It's looking like it was going to be a bit of an ace split through connector with Caliber and probably Nikki over towards Underground coming to join him. Instead, it's going to be left up to Nikki and the main brunt of this attack towards A, as they do push forward as a play towards Sandwich, who might be able to find some damage here. That's Remoy. I don't think Rocking's going to spot him out, but actually, if Remoy peeks out like that with a Molotov at his feet, he will. Larson, shot through the smoke is good for the frag. Towards Palace, and this flank from Nikki needs to start finding some inroads because his teammates, they're stalled towards the site, and Patrick, he's caught out jumping. Raftu at least finds one, but it's all falling apart as Nikki now makes that impact. A flashbang from SMF completely blinds up Nikki, but he still gets the kill onto Iceberg, and now it's left 1v1. Nikki versus SMF. 20 seconds on the clock, and Nikki can collect that bomb from the site. It's dropped up on top of default. Nikki's just hoping to find the shot through the smoke. 14 seconds will go for that plan. SMF not going to challenge as of yet, just looking to try and find intel. And as the bomb goes down, it now puts the onus on him. These shots ring through, but Nikki's gun is an AK-47, and that can still very quickly end SMF's life. I mean, he has a kit, SMF. He's going to tap the bomb, and that does bait out Nikki. He's going to tap it again. Is Nikki going to peek? Yes, he is, but once again, SMF not able to find the shot. Instead, Nikki falls even further back, and SMF taps it once more. Nikki, though, can he find the shot? As SMF starts to run out of time, yes, he will. 4 on the board for Fate. A Singularity. Is a 4-0 lead. And Fate actually calling for a pause here, a tactical pause. We'll be getting back in things in a moment, though. Singularity. Larson on the AWP here. Rest of the team just on Deagles. They do have plenty of cash on all the players to rebuy up in the next round. Once they pass through this one. Larson. Another shot for that AWP. That's 3 now already found in Larson. He's passed 2 rounds with the AWP. Nottingham actually takes quite a bit of damage from that Molotov burning his feet. Down to 50 he goes. Didn't want to stick around too much longer in that fire. As Singularity have actually read this one pretty well. They've rotated the AWP over towards B, and it's going to find even more damage. Larson, oh dear, this could spell disaster for Fate as he finds another. And it's all up towards Nikki, who's caught towards Jungle. Okay, 3 kills for Larson. Make that now 5 on the board for him. 5 kills with the AWP in 2 rounds. If he can keep hitting shots like that, if he can keep finding these openings and these just kills that completely shut down any chance for Fate in the round, Singularity, they do have a chance on this one. And obviously with Team Singularity not fully invested into that round, they had like 2.5k per player still remaining. They do end up with quite a bit of cash in reserve because they save a few AKs. Obviously, the AWP carried across as well, which is going to find another kill. Nikki's the victim for this time. And Singularity, they have a pretty strong setup towards A here. Iceberg pushed in towards a ramp, has Remoy just behind him looking towards the Palace. Difficult position for the T-side to clear out, and Larson, he gets another. Caliber will walk backwards into his crosshair. That's a gift for him on the open. Raftu, he might get caught off by the aggressive ramp clutch, and so it'll be good for 1, but Remoy's still nearby, hoping to get the second kill here. Patrick will deliver his corpse towards Remoy there, and now it's just rocking left with a deagle, but a fantastic shot on towards Larson. Takes the AWP out of action. SMF will pick up that weapon, if not just to save it. Rocking is the last player alive. They know his position. They can just lock him down in the Palace. He needs to try and push out if he wants to collect that bomb. SMF misses a shot. Rocking's able to get in towards the site, but again, no bomb for him to work with. It's little more than a different position he can fight from. Find more damage. That's a second kill onto Remoy, and be careful. Singularity! Oh no, Rocking. 2 kills to his name. Make it 3 actually. Including the kill onto Larson early on. Singularity, he almost let that round slip. Only Nottingham survives, and his position towards ramp was unknown by Rocking. He does collect the final frag, but oh, that was dangerous. Those kills were succinct from Rocking, and I mean, they go for a double up setup now, Singularity. They had that cash in reserve that I talked about that they could rebuy into with. A second on the board for the Singularity side. And Fate, I mean, just mainly pistols. Raftu has a Galil as the force bought into this one. They have a bit of utility that they are utilising towards that A site, hoping to draw something from Singularity in return. But Singularity, they'll be happy just to try and fight this one with the guns that they have. Not wanting to give up any sort of advantage to Fate by pushing aggressively. Larson, oh, actually gets caught out by Caliber. And that's a great kill, followed up by a second from the Tech 9, and somehow Fate, they have themselves a 5-on-3. It's now up towards these remaining Singularity players to try and force their way back in towards this A site, and with Caliber on the AWP, that is a deadly combination that they really need to be worried about here. Do Singularity just save this? Looks like they're going to. Huge turnaround for Fate here as Nottingham, he'll save the secondary AWP, actually spots Nikki towards the apartments, gets that kill at least. Will provide a bit of safety for the Singularity players to save over towards his B site, but a round that shouldn't have been going Fate's way has done. Fate off the back of that. They get a pretty solid buy in this next round as well. But at least for Singularity, saving those guns out of Valpem A full buy, and it's fast in towards the B site. It was mainly Notten in defense. Larson has found one with the AWP as Rocking wants to go aggressive in towards the market. Will get stopped by a smoke though. As Larson's still towards short with that AWP, he's going to pick up more kills, and he is so on form right now with his weapon. Rocking's going to get caught out towards market, trying to find space for his team, and it's now all up towards Caliber and Nicky, with Nicky actually burning. He's caught out in the open. It's only Caliber left, going towards the apartments, hoping to find more. Does get a first, but getting tagged down ever so low, and nade goes deep, and Caliber's just going to try and save his weapon. He knows the round is lost against these 3 players, and Singularity, they'll keep themselves afloat as they answer back after a disappointing previous round. So for Fate, do they go for a force buy here yet again? The game has been paused. It is actually Fate calling for this this pause. And they will go for as much as they can muster here, which is actually a pretty solid buy for Fate, all things considered. It's 4 AKs, the AWP for Caliber, which is, of course, was saved from that previous round, so he actually drops over an AK to one of his teammates. I think it was Rafdu who received that. And Singularity, though, they get the full buy through as well. So a big chance for both teams here to really put a staple in this first half for Singularity. They can tie up the game off the back of this. They win out the round. Fate, they're not going to have really anything to work with in the next round. It'll surely be an eco, and Fate will have to concede a couple. I think so. So definitely a chance for Singularity to tie this game up. Obviously, Singularity hoping to still close out this series despite a really horrid CT half and Inferno. They were looking so strong on the T side, and then it all sort of slipped away from them once they switched over to CT Inferno. They've lost a 12-4 lead, but now, I mean, new map, new chance, and I mean, yeah, a chance slipping away from them previously, but obviously we've taken Fate's map pick 16-10. They afforded themselves that sort of second chance, that luxury to make mistakes, and they have made the mistakes. They'll be hoping they don't make any more now, as Larson is looking pretty on form with the AWP, and he's looking for even more here for his kill tally. And there goes Nicky, an easy kill to find towards top mid, but it's still another one that's added to the charts as he reaches 10. Might just walk into a crosshair as Rocking. He finds one from short as they push forward in towards that B site. Rafdu needs to be careful because he's been dropped in towards the site. That's the bomb going down. It's SMF though, he's being mollied every single which way, and it's a 3-on-3 as Fate, they get that bomb planted towards that B site. Remo, he's caught out towards Library, and now it's all up towards Iceberg, who's going to go diving out of the market window, now left in a 1v1 against Caliber. The bomb's planted for short, and Caliber, he's over towards bench, has sightlines on that bomb. He's having to shift his aim between 2 slightly different angles, but it's going to be Iceberg who captures him, looking slightly the other way. He will close out the round with the defuse. But a costly round. The bomb plant for Fate certainly helps out with their economy, and they might, in fact, go for a bit of a min buy off the back of this. Get a few pistols and maybe a couple SMGs up. As it's another pause for the Fate side here, another tactical timeout coming from them. I suspect they won't go for a full force buy on this one, Fate. That'd be a silly thing to do. Unless you maybe think about the aspect of Team Singularity having low economy themselves, only survived with that one player in the last round. So their economy is on a sort of tipping point, but Singularity still have a strong buy in the round. That's the thing. They're still going to have really good weapons. So for Fate, it would take a big miracle for them to pull one off, and especially considering they already won a round like that out. But they do just go for the safer option. A Deagle, a couple P250s, Tech 9, CZ. hoping to find impact, hoping to do something similar to what they found in that prior round where Caliber found 2 with a Tech 9 from Connector. Looks like it's going to be the B side that's under threat again. Fate, they've had success towards this site as well. It's only Norton really in defense right now. Does have SMF over towards Short, who will be able to pick off the opening, but the CZ from Rafdu is good for at least one. SMF needs to hold his ground, needs to at least maintain control of this position and lock them in towards the site, which he is doing expertly. 3 kills now to his name. This nade does finish off Rafdu, make it 4 for SMF. And, Larson, he doesn't want to miss out too much on the action as he'll pick up the final kill. But it will be tie game now, 5-5. But for Fate, that was just a bit of a... not a throwaway round, just a chance at some damage, and you obviously get the bomb plant and a kill through, which helps them out with this round. Obviously, the $800 allows a bit more utility to come through for them on this T side. As Iceberg, he's gone aggressive towards mid, and 2 quick kills for him. Rafdu unable to trade off the first. Finally, Nicky takes him down, but it might be too little too late, as he is the last player alive against 3 from the Singularity side. The last spotted towards Underground, has to rotate all the way back through the apartments to go get the bomb T-spawn. And Remoy might just be meeting him over in T-spawn. What does Nicky elect to do here? Picks up the bomb. He's actually going to head back in the direction of B. Has a lot of time to work with Nicky, so there's no rush to try and find an opening or any sort of movement, per se. I think you can just chill for a moment and maybe hope Singularity make a mistake, which they're not looking to do. So Remoy has cleared out Ramp and Palace, so they're pretty sure it's not going to be an A hit, at least not from those directions. Maybe Connector could be an option for Nicky, but it looks like he's going to push through short or through cap to short to B, of which now there's 2 players waiting based off that info from Remoy. So Nicky might be in for a bad time here. A very not fun time. And spotted out 20 seconds. Has to commit to this site. Larson not on the AWP. SMF is instead and will collect the kill nonetheless. Now Singularity 6 on the board. Taking the lead, and they've got a pretty strong chance at 7 here, especially with Iceberg securing an opening kill. He does go down to just 2 points of health, and Nicky actually finding a kill towards the apartments will get cut short at just that 1. So crisis averted initially. Singularity, though, not out the woods fully just yet. A few Deagles still on the board that can do more damage, and with Iceberg low on HP, just a single bullet, just a single tickle, gust of wind away from death is Iceberg. It's out over towards CT and Larson. Needs to be careful to get picked off by Patrick, but Remoy does swing out for the kill. Feels that location is clear. Iceberg want to get spammed through that ticket box. He is low on HP. There's a head showing though for Rafdu. Oh no, Rafdu 2 quick kills on the Deagle, and now Singularity left in a 2-on-2. A run boost towards the site. Not perfect, but it's good enough. It's these 2 Deagles hoping to find the round. No weapons picked up, but Caliber can get one from tickets now if he wants it from Iceberg's body. He's not elected to do so. I'm sure he will do in a moment, though, as he spots it out and actually spots out Larson, but the Deagle will be enough for another kill. Leaves it all to SMF, and Caliber close it down. Fate again pick up a round with the limited weaponry, and Singularity, they give up frags. They left so much space towards the A site. Fate were able to walk out, catch Remoy towards jungle, and I admit, a very 6-second shot from Rafdu took down Iceberg towards Ticket, but still, a lot of space given up towards that A site by Singularity. They need to try and limit that possibility in the future, or at least just have yourself playing in a more safer angle where the Deagles can't find those headshot angles on you. Now, Singularity, they do go for as much of a rebuy as they can manage, but it's a single M4 for Remoy. The up for Larson, a heavy hitter so far this game for the Singularity side. I slowed down a little bit after those initial flurry of rounds from Singularity, but with a couple of Famouses and a Deagle only for Notton. Not the perfect weaponry by any stretch, and Fate, they've got the 5 rifles in their camp. Fate, they look to try and take a bit of mid-control here. A resmoke towards window, gonna miss. Do not love to see it. They push in through connector. Don't big kill. Make it a double from Fate. Gives them such an advantage, but still with Remoy towards a ramp. They're not going to spot him out initially, but now he peeks, takes down the bomb planter, and with 20 seconds on the clock, that makes things a little bit more difficult. It's out in the open. Iceberg, he can't deny the kill, or can't deny the plant, rather, with that kill. It's now left up to Notton, and there was a real chance for Singularity to find 7th there. Iceberg, he went aggressive, tried to deny it, gets caught out. Maybe over-peaked a little bit, but really wanted to try and secure it. With what was about 15 seconds on the clock. Nothing all alone. Hoping to find a one shot with this Deagle, but Rocking will shut him down. It is 7 now for Fate on the T side. So for Singularity, they have to take as much of an eco as they can do here. A single Deagle for Remoy, Notton with a Zeus. We have seen him get a kill in a prior match this week. But, I mean, this is actually a pretty good position for it. Underneath the balcony, hope that maybe someone jumps over you. You can Zeus the crotch. That would be a fun time, honestly. Zeus to the crotch. But a triple stack in mid for Singularity. Might be able to find a kill onto Caliber, who might get caught out alone. You just need to be wary of the peek from underground, and with that initial kill going their way, now they do need to watch that underground peek, and Patrick Cassidy gets dinked mid-air by Iceberg, who can't find the kill, but Notton will finish it off. And now, guns for the Singularity side, and the bomb dropped in mid. Oh no, this is bad for Fate. USPs are finding damage, and a Molotov that's going to lock down connector for the moment, but a good kill for Rafdu. He's low on HP, leaves it all up towards Notton. 1 versus 2 as he jumps up on towards the little ledge. Rafdu's did sort of go for the peak, but it's not enough for the round though for Singularity. Rocking, he just about closes it down for the Fate side. Just about finds him an 8th, but it was very deadly there from Singularity with just USPs and a single Deagle. Now, I mean, 5 M4s for Singularity. One last chance at a round in the CT side. Try and secure 7 on the board. But Nikki with the AWP. I'm a little intrigued by the Fate system right now. It seems like the AWP keeps switching between Caliber and Nikki. I mean, personally, I would have assumed Caliber would be the AWP. I don't know much about Nikki, though. so I can't comment on that regard. But whenever I've seen Caliber in teams, he has been a pretty prominent AWP figure. It's just interesting to see how the AWP switches between the two of them on maps and between halves. As Fate, they're going to progress in towards this A site now. They've got rocking up towards the palace. Patrick is leading the charge, and they've been able to hold back Singularity with the utility for now, and at least lock down the bomb site for a plant. They are going to get done here. Nobody to stop that from Singularity. There was a potential for a bit of spam through the smoke, but planted the opposite side of default. Not a common position. Now, Caliber on the flank. A huge kill to find. He's actually going to double his money on that one. Trying to just spam through a smoke as well. Spam through triple box. Anything he can spam through is going for it. And it's Larson all in his lonesome inside of the smoke, hoping to just find anything at all. But Caliber, a third on the board for him in the round, and that is 9-6 half for Fate. The first time in this series they've actually had the lead at halftime. It was 9-6 favouring Singularity on Trayton. It was 11-4 favouring Singularity on Inferno, and now 9-6 for Fate on Mirage. So we'll just have a brief half-time break. Obviously, Singularity could have closed this out in 2. They had such a lead in Inferno that that did slip away from them. And well, both teams still in with a shout with this one. It's very similar to Trayton. Obviously, Singularity now switching over towards the T side. Probably say is slightly less favored on Mirage, but it's pretty even nowadays. You can't really say too much, so definitely can still fight back in this second half, especially if the pistol comes their way. I feel like I said that every single halftime break, but I don't like pistols personally. It's I don't know. I think pistols are pretty. I don't know what the word is, but I just feel like they have too much impact in games. Like you can see a game where it's like 16-14 or something, and it's like one team won both the pistols, and then they won the game because of that. And pistols, they're quite a lot. I mean, I still think they have a place in the game, but I don't personally like them. They just feel too sort of random in a lot of regards, maybe. I mean, obviously, skilled and so your sort of game planning for pistols does matter, and obviously, if you've got it's obviously a part of the game that you have to work on the pistol rounds. You still have to plan, have to provide options for yourself on pistol rounds and stuff. But so it is another sort of layer of sort of tactics that need to go into a map. But I don't know. For 1 round and a half, it sort of just feels like, you know. And considering they hold so much weight as well, like, it's 1 round, yeah, but then you've got the follow-ups as well. And, no. Yeah. Enough of that. We will wait for the second half to go live, and we should be going live in a moment. And we'll be able to see which of these teams can pick themselves up the pistol round. We have seen a lot of these Singularity plays in the recent matches looking pretty on form with the pistols. Norton and SMF especially have been the ones finding a lot of damage, a lot of kills. Is the scoreboard still reset? Yeah, it is. I was gonna check what Larson's scores at right now. How many kills he's on? Yeah, it's still on the reset. But once we get going, it should sort itself out. That's just the way Esea is. It resets it to 0 for the pistol round, and then it sorts itself out. But actually, I'll have a quick look on HLPV instead, as it is 15. No. Oh, wait, I'll check in a moment, as Notton has found a very quick opening kill, but they still have 2 more players towards his B site. Nicky, he'll get caught off, so Singularity, they think they've got the bomb site secure, but Rocking, he's still in the backlines, finds one. Iceberg, where's the response? He took so long to turn around, and somehow Rocking, he's still alive, still finding damage! And with Caliber swinging in together, they close out the round, and that is perfect. I don't know why it took so long for them to turn around to face that player towards the back of site. Maybe not knowing where it came from, but even still, your bomb planter dies, you surely look towards the site rather than looking at short. I don't know. But Singularity will call for a timeout, as we now do see the scores on the doors. Larson 14-13, slowed down quite a lot since he reached those 10 kills. What seemed like 8-9 rounds into the game. He got to that point, 10 kills on the board, and that was like in a matter of like 4 or 5 rounds. He racked up 10 kills on that AWP. But yeah, we do get back into things pretty sharpish here. It's Singularity just taking a full eco. Bomb plant not going down, that was denied, means that, yeah, there's really not much cash for them to work with. It's Fate with a few MP9s. It should be able to farm pretty decent cash in this round. A couple rifles, just in case things get a little bit leery. Should be a pretty simple round, but a 1-for-1 Caliber caught out a little bit, maybe, but the kills now all rolling in for the CT side. It leaves just Larson, and he's quickly dispatched off as well. So 11 on the board for Fate, just that 1 kill found. Nothing taken into the next round for Singularity. It will be the full buy, though, coming in this round. Singularity definitely looking like A is their spot here. And a bit of a bonus for Fate here. A bit of a bonus round, as they still hold the couple MP9s from that previous round. So, in theory, Singularity should have the upper hand in this round, as Fate lacking a bit of that long-range weaponry on a couple of players. But you can still, for sure, make the MP9s useful. Especially like Patrick is showing one example you can use up close against ramp, and Singularity, they're just gonna back away, have a little bit of a rethink about what they want to do with this round. As a smoke towards connector now signals that maybe Singularity are going to be pushing in towards mid, which they are doing. One single player over towards B, and that's Caliber, who's positioned in towards the ladder room. Nocturne, he's been able to just about deal with Nicky looking for intel towards the palace, and actually Singularity, they're going to wrap in towards A with that kill on towards Caliber as well. All of them now falling into place for the Singularity side. They can lock out these last 2 Fate defenders, get this bomb planted. Rocking, he's over towards Ticket. Raf doing CT. Robson has spotted him and has taken him down. Even just Raftu, who does at least show his face now. A kill for him. we will try and just keep hold of this weapon. Actually switches over to the AK, which is nice, and I mean, has a little bit of luck to maybe try and keep a player or two close, but Iceberg, the one that closes out the round. So Singularity, they'll find a 7th with the first gun round, but as I mentioned, a bit of a bonus round for the Fate side. It's they obviously didn't have the full sort of complement of weaponry, but they don't have enough to get a rebuy in this round, so yeah, for Fate, not so much of a bonus round, more of a much-needed round, I guess, as it's aggression up mid from the Singularity side. Kills coming through very nicely for them, as 4 for SMF. Maybe anti-eco frags, but it does help to build up a bit of confidence for you. Not that SMF is playing bad. And an 8 for Singularity very quickly come through, but Fate, they will pretty much go straight into a rebuy for this next round, as Patrick drops over and up to his teammate. Wonder whether Caliber or Mickey will be wielding that one. Rocking is wielding it? Okay. Weird. Why do they keep switching around the AWP for these rounds? It's really confuses me. Surely it creates a weird dynamic in the team where you don't have any consistency in your lineup in terms of being able to understand what's going on in the round. But maybe it works out. Maybe it confuses Singularity as much as it does me. As Patrick, not gonna keep Fate in the advantage for long, as Singularity has managed to aggress deep in towards his A site, even in the 4-on-4. Fate are now gonna have to try and just make do with a 4-on-4 retake here. Try and push in towards the site. Iceberg collect one, and a couple quick trades from Fate, but it's not going to be enough to secure them advantage. That is until Larson gets caught in the open towards jungle. It's now SMF all is lonesome, and against 2, he will collect, he will deliver, and he will secure the night for Singularity, closing them back in on that Fate booty. 11-9. Just 2 rounds of deficit as Fate. They call the pause here. They call the tactical timeout. Now, the Fate side, just a bit of a min buy here, a bit of an eco. Just buy a few upgraded pistols. Hope you can do a bit of damage to Singularity, because, I mean, obviously you found 4 kills in that previous round, which limits the economy Singularity have. But, back onto rocking is nice, but still pretty decent cash for most of these plays on Singularity. Like, 3 of them are of at least 4k. Either 2 around that 2.5k mark, so they have pretty decent cash going forward. Especially if they can keep 3 or 4 players alive in this one. And they're just taking their time, Singularity. Not giving anything up early on here to the Fate side, seeing if there's any sort of aggression from those CT players. And here it comes. The nade towards ladder room does do decent damage, but Caliber and Rafdu, they're now finding shots as the initial couple kills from Singularity have been answered back in kind. It's now Iceberg and Remoy, but it's... Oh, Jesus Christ. Of course, Fate win it out with just pistols. An aggressive pushing towards mid, and Singularity, they're caught with their pants down, and Fate, they find a round of nothing. Mental that these sorts of rounds keep happening. Imagine if Fate just did that with full guns. Imagine how successful that would be. It's amazing the change that teams make for those sort of lesser rounds, and the amount of success they have. but then they don't seem to run similar strats with the full weapons. I mean, maybe there's a reason for that. Maybe it wouldn't work, but I don't see how that sort of setup for the Singularity or for the Fate side wouldn't have worked. As I mean, in this round, it's a completely different look, and it's lost the initial advantage. In fact, it was initially a two-man advantage for the Singularity side. Patrick has been able to find two in return now as it brings back into a 3-on-3. Larson caught with a nade in his hand, and Raftu now towards mid is finding even more as Fate, they swing it back from a 5-on-3 deficit into a two-man deficit. Two-man advantage, rather, for the Fate side. And SMF is left all in his lonesome. 40 seconds on the clock. What does he do? Bit of utility to try and pull players towards that B site. Instead, he's going to now look towards mid to maybe catch a rotation. It's not going to come his way. They'll stay steady. Shot from SMF, though, but left with 4 HP. Surely, with 14 seconds on the clock, he's not going to be able to find Raftu and plant here. There's just no way. He just needs to die. And Raftu will gladly oblige with that request. Takes him down. Secures Fate of 13th, and now Singularity up against it. It's not much economy for the Singularity side. Iceberg gives about 4k, but the rest of the team between 2 and 3. Closer to 2 for most of them. It's going to have to be an eco here. They'll have, what, 2400 coming in. They can get a full buy in the next round. Iceberg could drop over an ult to Larson. It's a 4-round deficit still for Singularity, looking like it's going to be 5 to the good of Fate here. As this is just a brief technical pause for the Fate side. It's getting going in a short moment, but certainly it's not over for Singularity. If they just, I mean, of course, you essentially are given Fate 14 here. You'll have to try and fight back, find a decent run of form. You can still close out the game in regulation, 16-14, but you're more likely looking at an overtime game in this situation if you are Singularity. Fate closing in on that map and match point. Raftu, he needs to be careful. Does have Rocking for a bit of support as they together close down that aggression towards mid, and there goes really any chance of Singularity finding anything dangerous in this round as it dink onto Rocking, but that nade is just doing so much damage. He'll try and finish it off with a pistol, has support from his teammates, and there comes another nade, another dunk, and the finishing kill. Is Fate to 14, not a single kill found by Singularity, despite a lot of damage done in that round. I think a few plays there are about that 10 HP mark. Now, guns out for Singularity, but Fate, they are the ones who seem determined to write their own. With an opening kill from Rocking on that AWP, I'm still surprised he's one wielding it. As Fate are inching closer to that match point. What do you do if you're Singularity in this situation? I mean, you've got, what, SMF towards mid. Looks like they'll try and set themselves up for a hit towards B. Right now it's Rocking and Caliber to defend, and Rocking with that AWP looks like he's probably going to be able to hit at least one on the entry here before Singularity will have a hope of trading. And considering there's only 2 coming through the apartments, I mean, Caliber, he'll finish off 2 kills. Rocking legged up one of them, and it's all up towards Notta to try and push through the apartments, but he has quickly had his head chopped clean off through the wall. Rocking not missing. Leaves it all up towards SMF once again. He's left towards mid, hoping to find some sort of kills. Better off just saving this one, as he actually does collect an AWP. But, yeah. I think he might be able to catch him before he can escape. And I mean, I see what SMF was doing there. Went up over the railing soon and couldn't get spotted through connector. But that took a bit too much time. And if he just ran across, he actually would have been safe. Hindsight is a wonderful thing. Singularity will take a pause as they need 6 in a row now. And their economy is not good. They've got 3k per player. Looking like Fate are going to pick up their first win in Esea Premier. It should be fun for them. Fun for the Bulgarians. Pause coming to an end. Remo's having a bit of a spin. The game gets back live. It's 2 Galils, 3 Deagles for Singularity. If they could pull off this round, it would be amazing. It's unlikely though, unless they somehow find a very quick opening, which doesn't work out. Caliber, he finds 2 before eventually Singularity replies. A lot of control though in mid now is actually Notten. With the Galil finds a second kill towards the window player, and that opens up a lot of space now for Singularity as they can work this map control, can maybe find themselves a 10th on the board here and start working back into the this game, into this round more or less. Patrick, though, in position towards a ramp. That's a pretty solid position to try and deny anything Singularity do towards this A site. You can really lock down the post-plant positions, limit what they can do, and maybe get a cheeky kill as well, bring it into a 3-on-2 for the retake. But I wonder if Singularity will be aware of his position. Iceberg is watching for it. Iceberg will actually take him down. Nice kill to find. And Singularity now left in a 3-on-1. It's all up towards Raftu, who can find one. Anything more than this might be a bit far-fetched as the bomb is planted in the open. Notten has already made his way through the murder hole to safety. With Remo towards the ramp. Raftu's going to have a very hard time of drawing out the plays, and Notten actually, he'll just take the fight and win it out. Spotting Raftu from behind, finishes him off. Double Singularity into double digits. So there may be life still in this Danish side. Aggression in towards mid from Team Singularity. They managed to get a lot of mid control. Utility dump towards connector, hoping to force back any of these Fate players from peeking in towards them. And right now, Iceberg, he's being naded down towards apartments, but Caliber, he's on the flank through underground, and he's taken down Iceberg. Gotten the opening kill for the CT side. And now what do you do if you're Singularity? You're man down. You need to try and fight back into this game. Now fighting for overtime. A push through connector. Rocking over towards stairs. That's an awkward position with the AWP. If you could find 1 from this position, that would be good. 2 would be a miracle, as maybe he might get saved by his teammates. Laying a few rounds through the connector, making the Singularity plays a little anxious. But there's Rocking as a smoke fades. Oh, gets 2. Quick scopes, should I say, for him. He's even going to peek around the corner, find Remoy lining up with smoke, and it's all up towards Larson, who can't find anything. And Singularity, they fall on the 3rd map. 16-10 against Fate, who do pick up their first win in this ESEA Prem season. Singularity, they already have a win. They're 1-4, or 1-5 now, I guess. While Fate, they will be 1-6. But a pretty decent game all around. a very sloppy second map of Inferno. That second half was, yeah, a bit of a bit messy, to say the least. And obviously, Singularity losing out on a 12-4 lead there would have definitely been 2-0 for them. But it is what it is, and Singularity will have to pick themselves up, move on. Commiserations to them. Congratulations, though, to Fate, the Bulgarians, and good luck in the rest of the season. Obviously, I don't know if they've got one more game to play. Yeah, that's all from this week of Esea Premier Games. I'll be back next week with with Singularity's last two matches. I believe they're playing Saw and who's the other team? It's not Apex. It is Windstrike. Two very tough teams coming up. That'll be a challenge for Singularity, but we'll see if they can maybe bag a win from one of them. And that's all from me today. I'll see you next week. Take care, guys.